Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they've gone a full half season since their last loss, winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bring it 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. He finds an opening past the 40. And he's going to get this to the 40-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. the fumble recovery. Newton. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Everson Griffin. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Third and long, it's Newton. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for fourth. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And then look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. They start the drive with Cook, fighting him off. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. 3rd and short yardage. Cousins. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And his kick is good. Not by much. It was leaking oil in the end, but he tucks it in the bottom right corner. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we would be if it ended today, but we also know It's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number one in their conference.
That good for 22 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. But fortunately, a Panther was able to get on this. So Carolina keeps the ball.
Plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
A give. This is Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. shotgun snap for Newton. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. And they've got it here with a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at them right now and say, let's get away from him entirely. Let's start throwing the football, but I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward. A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. Taking a shot for Samuel. It's caught at the 10. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, is what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Well, the former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Vikings on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And, Charles, this infraction is going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
And the situation changes a bit now. 1st and goal from back at the 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. Here's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Myers able to knock it through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season. But some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then. Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4. A victory lap. Well, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Blizzards.
Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year, not to take anything away from him. From the gun, here's Newton. Wide open receiver complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Out to his left. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. More from Minneapolis after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Got his target, Samuel. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
A first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. 1st and 10 at the 19. From the red zone now, Newton. Flush to his right. This is caught. And he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Out of the gun, Newton. Flushed out right. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Cam Cam Newton with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Second down, Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Cook stripped, the ball's out, and the Panthers have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen, because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. A first down throw for Cousins. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Cousins. Over the middle, complete. It's Wolf. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
20. Gun. Express. Right to the 3. Look at it.
A final shot before the break. Newton. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we come upon an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Here's Newton now on second down. Escaping the pressure right. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
To throw on second down is Newton. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They fake the give. Newton. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Newton now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Now Newton. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Play action. It's Newton. They'll roll him out right. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 23 yards on the play.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now Newton forced out to his left. And the Panthers in for the score. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Gano the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gano out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They run again on first down. Cook. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cook. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They go play action here on first down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Handoff comes to Cook. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They run it again with Cook. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Carolina getting set to take the field. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And now running right through it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage that's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now it's Newton. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Newton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the 50, Newton. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Newton on 3rd down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Holding. Offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Well, there's a reason he's called Riverboat Ron. Rivera going to leave the offense out on 4th down. They snap it to Newton. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
3rd and 4, and this crowd urging on their defense. They're up and making noise. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Polardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. Diggs with a good footwork. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 38. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
got a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Cousins now on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
And Myers able to knock it through. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Carolina getting set to take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
On second down, here's Newton. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
The Panthers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Newton. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. To throw on second down, Newton. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
From the red zone now, Newton. Eluding the pressure right. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 6 there on first. Time for a break. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Back to the ground attack here is McCaffrey. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Gano out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another...
And nothing but daylight ahead. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 38 yards on the scamper there. Cousins now to throw on first down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And that's incomplete. Trevor Williams there on the coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
On 3rd down, Cousins. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Dante Jackson picks it. And maybe a little too cute there on the return, losing 13 yards, but his guys get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. The Panthers on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they'll try and burn some clock with a sneak. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Ready? 180. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Carolina, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they drop their 7th game on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.